Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 75, sort colors. So what the question states here? So here we are given an array nums. You can clearly see here we are given an array nums containing only integers 0, 1, 2. So this nums array consists of the elements only 0, 1 and 2. That's what they have given in the question. Representing colors red, white and blue. So 0, just give me a second here. Yeah, 0 represents the color red, and 1 represents the color white, and 2 represents the color blue. That's what they have given in the question. What we need to do then, we have to sort the array in place so that all the zeros come first, followed by all the ones and all the twos. We have to sort the array in place, so that's what they have given. Again, I'm telling, this is very important. We have to sort the array in place so that zeros come first, zero should come first, one should come next, and the final one has to be twos, right? So zeros come first, followed by all the ones, then all the twos. So we should not make use of the built-in sort method. So we shouldn't make use of the built-in sort method. That's what they have given here. So we should not make use of the built-in sort method. The algorithm must be one pass and use constant extra space. So we can either go with the one pass or two pass here. It doesn't matter. So the algorithm must be one pass or the two pass using the constant extra space. Just keep this in mind. Just keep this in mind. Right. I hope the question is completely clear. So let me delete this one. Let's come to the first example here in this case. So here we have 2 0 2 1 1 2. When we sort this one, we shouldn't be making use of the built-in sort. So let's see what will be the approach. Before that one, the output has to be, after sorting, basically 0 0. When sorted in ascending order based on the numbers, it should be 0 0 1 1 2 2. That's what they have given in the output as well. See here, this one I'm speaking of. And the example, second example here, nums we have 2 0 1, right? So it has to be, the output has to be 0 1 2 in this case, right? So this one, that's what they have given in the output. Let's see how can uh, we write the code, or before writing the code, let's see the approach, or let's discuss the approach first, right? Followed by the complexities, and then let's write the code. Initially, let's discuss the approach first. So here we have the first example. The first example here is nums equals 2 0 2 1 1 0. We have already discussed this one, right? When sorted, we have to get 0 0 1 1 2 2, right? So that's what they have given as output. So let's see the approach. Let's go with the, let's discuss this one step by step. Before discussing the approach step by step, let me tell you one thing. We will be making use of the hash map approach. So we have to count the frequency of the elements, right? So that is the reason we will be going with the hash map. So they have strictly mentioned to go with the one pass or two pass solution, right? So that is the reason we'll be going with the hash map. So I've considered the same example, the first example, so that it will be easier to understand, right? So we will be making use of the hash map to count the frequency of each color first. So 0, so see here, 1 twice. So 0 we have twice, I mean 0 is present two times in the array, and 1 is present two times in the array as well. 1 is present two times in the array as well, and as well as 2 is present two times in the array as well. See here, 0 is present twice, 1 is present twice, and 2 is present twice as well. Just keep this in mind. So the next part here is, now we will rewrite the array using the count. We will rewrite the array using the count. Means first we will write two zeros, nothing but here, see, this one will be blank. So that is the reason I have given underscores here. Next, after this one zeros, first we are counting the frequency of each color. So after counting the frequency of each color using the hash map, we can write in this way. We are just rewriting this one. So then after writing the two zeros, we will write the two ones, because in the question they have asked first we have to go with the zeros, then with the ones, and then with the twos, right? So here next we will go with one ones. So this one will be 0 0 1 1, and other two will be underscores, or nothing but the blank. Here in this case, then we will write the two twos actually, right? So we have two twos, two zeros, two ones, and two twos accordingly with the frequency of numbers 0 1 and 2, right? So here 0 0 1 1 and 2 2 we got here, right? So here now we don't have any underscores or the blank ones, right? So the final answer here is that we got here is 001122, which is equivalent to the output that they have mentioned for the example 1 in the question. So our approach works absolutely correct in this case. Our approach works absolutely correct in this case. So this is the approach that we'll be going with. So let's discuss the complexities very quickly. So the time complexity would be big of n. Why it will be big of n here in this case? We are making use of the one pass to count and another to write back. Again, I'm telling we are making use of two pass here, one pass to count and another pass to write back. This is totally linear, right? So overall time complexity would be quite obviously big of n. And what would be the space complexity? Space complexity is big of 1. Why space complexity is big of 1? Because we are making use of only three keys in the hash map, which will be of the constant size. So the time complexity and the space complexity of the code that we will be writing in the future is big of n and big of 1. Accordingly, with the approach we have discussed the complexities as well. Now we are completely familiar with the complexities as well as the approach. As we are completely familiar with the approach and complexities, let's discuss the let's start writing the code. So what we'll do first here, uh, as we have discussed, we'll be making use of the hash map. Why? Because we need to count the frequency of each color, right? So let me give hash map, not the hash set here, hash map. So within the angle brackets I'll be giving integer key value, right? So both are integers, so I'll just give here hash map. Let me consider map, or I'll just consider m here in this case. So this will be new hash map, angle brackets and parentheses. This is fine. Syntax. So we have successfully created the hash map. Now what we'll do, let's initialize the counts to 0 for 0, 1 and 2, right? So let's initialize the counts to 0. Initially we will be initializing the counts to 0, right, for 0, 1 and 2. So I get confused with this one basically with the JavaScript. So I have done so much of JavaScript that every property in the JavaScript I start to remember whenever I try to write in Java. So here we will be making use of the put there. In the JavaScript we should have made use of the map.set, right, to initialize the counts to 0. So here in this case I have considered the variable name m or the map. So this one will be m dot put of 0 comma 0. The properties same thing, but the different names here we would have made use of the set, right? Set property in the map.set to initialize the counts or to set the counts to 0. So here in this case Java will be making use of the put. So this will be map.put of 1 comma 0. This is fine. So the next thing here is m dot put of this one 2 comma 0. So 0, 1 and 2 are the numbers we have. Only 0, 1, 2 that they have mentioned in the question, right? So we have successfully initialized the counts to 0 for 0, 1, 2. Next step is we have to count the frequencies of the each number accordingly with the approach, right? So we are just articulating the same thing, whatever that we discussed in the approach, same thing we are articulating in the form of code. Now let's count the frequencies of each number. So I'll just go with a simple for loop here. For int x of this one will be nums. So this is fine. So int x of nums, individual numbers we are considering, individual number we are considering. Here within the for loop, what we do, we have to increment the count if it is present again, right? So again, I'll be making use of put here because we need to increment the count, right? So I'll just make use of x here. So we need to get the value of the number, either it may be 0, 1 or 2, right? So for that one, I'll just go with the get property here, m dot get of x, individual number, and plus 1. We are incrementing the count, right? So if found again, if you find the 0, 1 and 2 again, we need to increment the count. So I'm just making use of plus 1 as it is 0 index. This is fine. So the next step here is uh, uh, yeah, we have to overwrite the nums array using the counts. Again, we are not making use of the extra array, additional array to store the result. We are just changing in place, right? So we need to overwrite the nums array using the counts. So let me initialize the I to 0. This is kind of a counter basically. First write, we'll be writing the zeros first, then we will be writing the ones, and then finally we'll be writing the twos, right? So first let's write the zeros. So here for loop int j equals 0, j less than, you would have already guessed this one, right? First we'll be writing the zeros, then ones, and then the twos. M dot get of 0 and this will be incrementing j plus plus. So this will be nums of I plus plus. So this one will be, let's initialize this one to the 0. This is fine. Let me copy this one. Let me copy this one. Let me do one thing here. Let me paste this one again. Let me paste this one again. So here we have successfully written the zeros first. Now we have to change this one to the ones, right? So here in this case, m dot get of 1. That's it, right? This one also we need to change. Nums of I plus plus. If we found again this one, we have to increment 1, right? So this is fine. So here in this case, then 2. Here this will be, again we'll be starting from 0, and m dot get, the value that we need to get here is 2. That is the reason we are making use of the get property. So here again, here this will be nums of I plus plus equals, we are assigning this one to the 2, not 0. So this is it for the code, right? Simple. What we did again, so basically we use the hash map. Why we made use of the hash map? To count how many of each color exists. In our case, what are the colors? Red, blue and white, right? So we made use of the hash map to count how many of each color exist, and then we rewrote the array using the counts. Then we rewrote the array using the counts. Here, this one I'm speaking of, this step for loop. We rewrote the array using the counts basically. So that is the reason we are making use of the hash map here, right? So one more thing. Mm, so just give me a second. We are going with a two pass approach, right? So this is the optimal two pass approach. We are just making use of the hashing and constant extra space here. Two pass means why it is two pass. So we are making use of one pass to count here in this case. Yeah, right. So we are making use of the one pass to count and another to write back. So this one for loop part, another one to write back, right? So we are making use of the two pass, and using hashing, we are just making use of the hash map, right, for counting the frequencies, and constant extra space here. So I hope whatever the code that we have written is completely clear, and we have discussed the this one as well, what do you call complexities as well. So first what we did, we discussed the question followed by the approach. Accordingly with the question, we discussed the approach and the complexities for the code that will be writing. Then we wrote the code, and the code works absolutely correct. So I haven't run the code, I think. Let's run the code. Yeah, now you can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed. So let me hit the submit button quickly. I hope this works for all the test cases, man. Let's see. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case, right? So now, yeah, then we wrote the code where I was. We wrote the code that absolutely works correct. So I hope the solution part is completely clear. Whatever the code that we wrote, right? So that is completely clear for now. This is it. Thanks for watching, guys.